is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Twigger and I have another high ELO commentary for you, and this time it's actually featuring a game that I was in the lobby for. As you guys can see, there are a lot of people you might know here. Anklespankin on Cho'Gath, CaptainMonk on Support and Nautilus, FeedtheShark on Jinx. We've also got Unicat in here, and also Andy playing as Garen. I was actually in the lobby for this game. I was invited graciously by CaptainMonk, but then sadly Unicat did log on, and they are Anklespankin and Una are quite close friends, so I ended up getting the boot, which I'm fine with that, completely fine with that. But I thought to myself, you know what? If I can't be a part of this game, I can at least commentate this game. And I figured, why not? You get so many YouTube channel owners, content creators in the same League of Legends game. It's gotta be somewhat funny, right? Funny and epic, because, you know, like Anklespankin and CaptainMonk are fairly high diamond. FeedtheShark is in pretty high platinum. I believe Unicat was like challenger or something like that. We've got some pretty high ranking people here, so I figured, hey, this could technically count as a high ELO commentary featuring, you know, Anklespankin and FeedtheShark and CaptainMonk and like all these people, which would be very, very cool. Because I don't think I've really done a high ELO commentary when it's been like YouTube content creators. I think I've done like some Twitch people and then mostly pro players, but this is gonna be the first one with like Anklespankin and CaptainMonk and FeedtheShark, and we are basically just gonna tear them a new one. Every little mistake you guys make, I will comment on. I probably won't even be able to notice the mistakes. I'm just gonna try to be funny. And look at that. You don't get that with pro players. These guys already laughing, already having a good time. So going down the list here just a little bit, we have the newly reworked Garen up in the top lane, which Andy is playing. I know that when we were in the lobby, he was saying he wanted to take him out for a spin, which I thought, fantastic little pun. But looking forward to see what he can do on the new Garen, especially against Gangplank, who's a fairly strong champion right now. We have Yasuo versus Orianna in the mid lane. I think Yuna should have a pretty good time with this one. Until Orianna hits level 6, Yasuo does tend to be quite a lane bully. We've got Anklespankin in the jungle playing as Cho'Gath. Fairly, like, not a very typical jungler, but still fairly strong considering the sustain from his passive and his ability to feast minions and get those 6 stacks fairly quickly when he's in the jungle. And then we've got, of course, CaptainMonk playing as Nautilus support with an Ignite. So going for a fairly aggressive support in Nautilus against his Vayne Thresh combo. And FeedtheShark on Jinx. So it's a some fairly non-standard, non-meta picks going on here, but when we're looking at the other side, great hook from CaptainMonk though. A lot of damage going to be going down onto this Thresh. The Ignite going down, and CaptainMonk getting condemned into the wall, but it looks like First Blood going over to FeedtheShark with a great assist coming from CaptainMonk with the godlike hooks. This is like Mad Life Nautilus over here. So very well played, and it looks like that, the Ignite ended up really paying off for them, doing that extra little bit of damage to guarantee that kill. CaptainMonk now really looking for another hook, but the problem is in order to get much damage onto this Vayne, they would probably be underneath the turret, which probably won't be fantastic for them. They might very well die if they do that. But looking at the other team, Gangplank up in the top lane, we have a Diana jungle, which is surprisingly not meta, but it doesn't get picked overly often in high ELO play. But still very, very strong, especially when she hits level 6. As I said before, we have a Gangplank up in the top lane, we have Orianna in the mid lane, and then we have a Thresh and Vayne in the bot lane. So you always have to be careful when you're facing somebody like a Vayne, because even if you shut them down in the early game, if they manage to get their farm and keep themselves in the early to mid game, they start becoming that hyper carry, and Vayne ends up becoming very, very difficult to deal with. The lucky thing that you have about going somebody like Nautilus, which I don't know if this was draft pick or blind pick, but if it was, then I think CaptainMonk had a great idea here. Of going somebody like FeedtheShark getting hooked in by the Thresh. Looks like CaptainMonk's gonna try to just hold back the Vayne. The Ignite was used on the CaptainMonk from the Thresh, and it looks like that's not gonna amount to anything. So very nice play on their part, getting that summoner spell for 0 payoff. Oh my god, look at that hook! He is underneath the turret though, he's gonna take a bunch of turret shots. A great hook from the Thresh, and sadly, the flash is completely worthless. The flash coming out of the Vayne to secure the kill onto FeedtheShark, and looks like Anklespankin coming down here to try to pick up a kill. The red buff might be enough to pick this one up. It will be enough, and he's going for the double kill. Will the red buff be enough again? It will be red buff for the win. Anklespankin picking up a double kill while Diana gets executed by the... What? How? What? The Krugs just killed Diana. Why did you even try to do the Krugs when you're that low? She hadn't even gone B once. Why did you try to do a full clear as Diana? interesting take on things, but Anklespankin cleaning that one up, getting 2 kills. Sadly, there were, actually, there were assists for, CaptainMonk, I believe, because, yeah, he's got 3 assists, so that was definitely worth it for them. It looks like FeedtheShark also got an assist on that Jinx, so very nicely played in the bot lane. They're going to come back with a pickaxe and, a nice early sight stone, which is going to be pretty crucial, because that means that CaptainMonk could then upgrade to the sweeping lens, making sure that he can clear out any wards that the Thresh decides to put down. And since he doesn't have the sight stone, it's going to be very few wards, so clearing those wards are going to be very, very important for that bottom lane. But overall, it seems like a fairly aggro-heavy top lane. 42 CS to 35. Gangplank taking a little bit of an advantage here, but I wouldn't be surprised about that because Gangplank has a much easier time last hitting with his parlay and also with his barrels doing a shit ton of damage to somebody like the Garen. But Garen, I find, with his kind of buffs to his damage, I find he has a very strong mid-game point, so I'd like to see his dueling potential once that kind of chimes in. But it looks like Orianna has managed to hold her own against Yasuo. Yasuo, though, 51 to 35 in terms of CS, so it's still very much in favor of Unicat. And it looks like there might be a dive here. The Ignite going down, and he is going to get right on out of there and then just going to run back up. Very, very well executed play. But it looks like Vayne now stunning CaptainMonk into the wall, getting a lot of damage onto him. He's very low right now, but it looks like FeedtheShark is going to have enough damage to take down the Vayne. So that completely backfired onto the blue team. They had a great idea there, locking CaptainMonk down for so long with that the flay, with the hook, and then with the condemn onto the wall. The problem is CaptainMonk is very tanky. He's got the Relic Shield, and he's Nautilus. If you landed that combo on FeedtheShark's Jinx, maybe you would have had a different story there. But what I was trying to say before is that if this was draft pick, and you got the bans and you got the pick order, and CaptainMonk picked Nautilus into the Vayne, I think that was an incredibly smart idea because the way that you deal with somebody like Vayne is to have targeted CC. And Nautilus is one of the best at doing that. He's a very long-range ultimate that just locks somebody down for a couple seconds, which allows your damage deals to get into place. And I'm mostly talking about Garen, Cho'Gath, and Yasuo, because they basically, Garen and Cho'Gath have these insanely high damage executing ultimates, which they can just easily use on Vayne to just burst her down. And also you got the knock-up synergy with somebody like Nautilus getting the ultimate off, which is, you don't want to use that for the Yasuo ultimate on one person, but you then also have the Cho'Gath knock-up from Anklespankin. You just got so many ways of dealing with this Vayne that I feel like even if she does become a late game carry, it's going to be an issue for her. But we got a big amount of aggression coming down in the mid lane. Unicat's trying to kill this. Orianna is going to have enough to finally pick it up. Going to try to get out of turret range here, but it's, not going to be enough. I like the idea. There was no way that he was walking out of that one. But it looks like another aggressive play from the blue team onto this bot lane, but just once again not panning out, targeting the tank Nautilus, which is just not the right thing to do. But yeah, sadly Unicat just could not get out of that one. Really did try his best, but what can you say? But looks like Andy having a little bit of difficulty up in that top lane. 58 to 48, a bit of a CS difference. But here's the Nautilus ultimate coming out, taking a sweet-ass time getting over to that Vayne. Is the hook going to land? But no, Thresh playing this very, very smart and positioning himself appropriately. But now we have a gank coming out from Anklespankin here. Gonna miss the knockup, but Garen coming and doing a lot of damage with his spin, and this is gonna be the flash ultimate. Is not gonna be enough to kill him, but Anklespankin with the flash feast, gonna get a stack off that one. Nom nom that bitch, Ankle, you got it. So very well played. 2 flashes blown in the top lane though from Ankle and also from Andy playing that Garen, which is unfortunate, but hey, you at least picked up the kill in a lane where the Garen is currently a little bit behind, so allowing him that extra little bit of time to get some CS, to get some damage onto the turret and get some experience for free is very, very good for the Garen. But it looks like we have a gank coming up into the top lane. The Gangplank using his teleport to get up here. Garen just going to turn in onto this Diana. The flash having to be burned by the Diana to get away from the knockup from Anklespankin. The silence is going to work wonders against that Gangplank, but looks like nothing else is really going to come from this one. Oh, the re-engage onto Anklespankin. This chilling smite coming down. I don't know if anything is going to happen here because he doesn't have his feast currently up, but a lot of damage going down onto this Diana. Are they fancying a dive? It doesn't. Anklespankin's going in, not going to manage to land his knockup, but Gangplank once again taking a lot of damage. The barrel exploding, not doing enough to kill anybody yet, but is he going to be able to clean this one up? The silence doing work, but then Diana comes back in and uses her ultimate to kill the Garen. So 2 kills up in the top lane traded for that original Gangplank kill. Andy and Anklespankin both going down. And as you can see by Anklespankin's ultimate, it just came off cooldown. If he had had that available, that would have been a very easy cleanup for them. But sadly, I think Ankle took 1 turret shot while he was trying to jump under there. but ended up missing his Q and ended up just getting a little bit lower, enough to the point that the barrel with the extra damage was just enough to execute both of them. You can never underestimate those gangplank barrels. And while that was all going on, not while that was all going on, after the fact, Diana gets to go in and take Anklespankin's red buff, and it looks like Ankle's actually heading that way, so he's going to be sadly disappointed when he gets into his jungle and sees that his red buff has in fact been taken. And he's not going to have a timer on that one either. So we're back down into the bot lane where some of the action's going down. The hook sadly missing, but some big damage going down onto the Vayne coming from FeedtheShark since he has that BF sword and the pickaxe. But now we're seeing some of the damage coming out of this Garen. Jesus, that was substantial damage. Just want to see, I believe he's probably maxing his E first. Yeah, it is. So getting that spinning slash first, making sure, sorry, judgment, my bad. Anklespankin coming up for another gank. Gonna probably try to get this feast on, but Anklespankin taking a lot of damage is not gonna get the feast off, but Garen is at least gonna get the kill. Garen had to go around the turret. Is this gonna be a double? No, barely getting out of that one with just enough health. But sadly, Anklespankin going down, but it's still technically worth it when you look at it, because a kill and an assist is better than just a kill. But it looks like Yasuo going to take some heat in this top lane, in this mid lane, but it looks like they missed everything on him. It looks like, was that the flash? No, it was just the ultimate coming out. But the ultimate going down from Unicat, just taking down the Orianna, trying to now dodge everything he can from this Diana. Gonna try to dash to him, knocking her up and running away. I don't think she's gonna be in range to actually cast a Q and get her ultimate off. So Unicat making an amazing Yasuo play, picking up the lane opponent Orianna and getting away from the Diana. 2v1 turning into a 1-kill victory for Yasuo. Very, very nicely played, and that's exactly why Yasuo is such a high rank and why I can never play Yasuo, because it requires talent like that, which I simply do not have. And he's going back and re-engaging onto this Diana, but it's not going to be enough. The ignite, not going to be enough to pick up the Diana. Looks like that shield from Diana was just enough to keep her alive, and that extra little bit of burst damage coming from her passive, managing to take down the Yasuo. I love the enthusiasm for the Yasuo, though. I was like, Yasuo. Definitely go big or go home when you're playing somebody like Yasuo, because the more fed you get, you just become this late game hyper carry that is just stupid to deal with. But it looks like CaptainMonk feeling his lane out a little bit, trying to clear out some wards. Got a pink ward of his own in that river brush in the bot lane. And it looks like Gangplank and Garen now going at it. Gangplank putting down that barrel, but not going to manage to proc it with this parlay. Garen getting out of that one just barely. But looks like a lot of damage being traded here, and I don't know. Oh, but there goes the barrel again. Oh, it is going to be procced, and he just did not get out of that in time. And the barrel damage is just too much. It looks like both of these guys, mainly just the Gangplank, going for quite a damaging build. Getting that Tear of the Goddess to make sure that he can spam out his spells, especially his parlay, to get more farm. But they're going for the Tiamat for a lot of damage. Anklespankin coming into the bot lane to try to get a gank off, but it looks like nothing's going to happen here. FeedtheShark getting hooked, and the ultimate coming out from the Thresh, but they know that Anklespankin was just here. The Condemn coming out and knocking away. Oh, but a great rocket coming out of Jinx is going to be enough to clean up that Thresh. But it looks like Yasuo going to try to make a play onto this Vayne, but is not going to manage to find one. I'm so surprised that they decided to engage, even though they got the hook on FeedtheShark. They just saw that Anklespankin's Shogath was right there, and they were like, yeah, fuck it, we'll take you 2v3, no problem whatsoever. So that is going to be the first turret of the game going in favor of the red team. That bot lane so far playing really well. It looks like Garen taking a little bit of heat. The ultimate coming out from Gangplank to try to slow Garen down, but it doesn't look like it's really going to be enough here. Diana going to take a couple turret shots, and Garen's just going to walk on out of that one. So looking down the farm a little bit here, we've got 100, but look at the damage. Good God, we can't even stress this enough, how much damage this Yasuo is doing to this Orianna. 111 to 85 in favor of the Gangplank, which is a fairly big difference for those top laners. So Garen a little bit behind right now, but he's building fairly tanky. I think he's more trying to build for that kind of later game damagey tank threat that Garen tends to be. 84 to 55 in favor of the Diana, which is once again a fairly substantial difference, but looks like Diana just doing a really good job at farming. But 2-1-1 to Anklespankin's 3-2-1, really not too bad of a discrepancy there, and that's going to be another kill going in favor of the Yasuo. And they also took down the turrets. That's 2 turrets now in favor of this red team. And it looks like a lot of damage going down onto the Thresh, having to burn his flash, but it not getting him anywhere. Yasuo now jumping in here, taking a lot of damage from the turret, but Anklespankin's going to use that feast to take down his opponent, jungler Diana. And Gangplank now left all on his lonesome with just his barrels. The flash coming out of CaptainMonk, burning the flash of the Gangplank, which is very, very important. Even though nothing really came from that one. Support flash for top lane flash, I would definitely say would be worth it in that regard. But now it looks like Vayne trying to get something done to defend this turret. It looks like she might actually have pushed them away from the turret. Don't want to be too aggressive here, knowing that the Orianna was back up and probably heading up the mid lane to possibly cast a great shockwave, because she didn't even get her shockwave off during that little engagement that they had in that mid lane. So right now, running down once again, so 81 to 121 in favor of the Yasuo, playing a phenomenal Yasuo game against this Orianna. 117 to 91 in favor of FeedtheShark's Jinx, doing a very good job in that bot lane. And, you know, it's supports 24 to 26. Come on, CaptainMonk, get in on this. But here we go. Vayne did not expect that one. Trying to engage in onto FeedtheShark's Jinx, but it was not going to be enough because CaptainMonk was right behind them, and it looks like enough damage is going to go down. The flash coming out from the Jinx. Sadly, that Lancer was enough shield to actually keep Diana alive during that ultimate from Jinx, but being able to just get out of that one. Some really interesting barrel play coming out from this Gangplank, though. I'm setting up really nice trap barrels to do damage to this Garen. Garen having to burn his flash to get away from that one. The ultimate was used, and it looks like the Yasuo taking down the second tier turret in the mid lane. Thresh trying to get a hook onto the Jinx, but I don't know what he was trying to accomplish there. Even if he did get a hook, he was alone against a 4-2-2 Jinx with Infinity Edge. Not entirely sure what your plan was there, but it looks like Yasuo trying to come in here, trying to get a kill onto this Gangplank. Just not even gonna try to get the kill, just gonna do a shit ton of damage and then just kind of peace on out of there. Jinx putting down her flame chompers, but missing them. Condemned not going against the wall, though, and giving FeedtheShark a little bit of a push to try to get away here. I don't know, but the flay is going to come out. The hook is still available, and that is going to be one dead Jinx. The kill going over to Vayne, giving her 5th kill of the game. But this is one of the few times in a while that I've seen a Trinity Force Vayne. That does not normally happen. And I can't even tell you the last time I saw a Trinity Force Vayne, but... well, what can you do, right? Maybe it's good. I don't know. I don't know how it scales into the late game. The hook going to land from CaptainMonk's Nautilus, and this is going to be one free kill for Anklespankin. 5-2-2 as that tank Cho'Gath in the jungle. Going for that Cinderhulk Chilling Smite to the Frozen Heart. And now it looks like he might be going for a little bit of magic damage, because you are Cho'Gath. You want to carry, right? You want to be tanky, but you also want to, you know, fuck people up. That's how Cho'Gath works. But, man, it's just looking pretty difficult, I would say, for the blue team to come back for this one. It's, they're pretty far behind. 16 to 11, 33.8k to 27.5k, a pretty big turret lead. The blue team only has one turret, while the red team has 1, 2, 3, 4 turrets. So the gold lead is pretty substantial. They're also up one dragon, and I believe dragon is, I don't even know when the timing is. Maybe they're up. Yeah, they're only up one dragon. When the hell is that dragon spawn? I could have sworn that it was going to be in the next couple minutes here, but sorry, next couple seconds, but it is clearly not up yet. But I thought they took that a while ago. Anklespankin now trying his luck at 2 people, but it looks like Yasuo wanting to get in onto this Vayne. His shield is going to soak up probably one of those turret shots, not taking all that much damage. Anklespankin now coming down here, trying to land a knock up onto the Vayne. Not gonna land it though. They're trying to get as much damage as possible. A great shockwave coming out onto the Yasuo and Jinx though, but really not doing enough damage to really falter this dive at all. But it looks like another fight going on into the top lane jungle. Everybody trying to go onto this Gangplank. They're trading kills now, but Yasuo ends up taking down the Vayne in the bot lane fight. Now CaptainMonk trying to run away from the Diana, but a dive going down. Yasuo picking up a triple kill in the bot lane dive, and CaptainMonk running away from this Diana. I think is going to be able to get away because he does have his hook, and he also has mobility boots, which have now kicked in, so he's going to be way too fast. That space astronaut is just going to be way too quick for you as he waddles in 0 Gs away from you and your damage. But all in all, that was a very, very good fight. Triple kill for the Yasuo, 7-2-2. And also Trinity Force Yasuo, haven't seen that really before, so we're getting some very unique builds this game, which is always exciting to see. It's difficult to remain kind of like fresh in this game, considering that they don't come out with new items like overly often. They do often, but not like, it's not constantly changing the meta, so it's nice seeing some of these different item builds and seeing what they can do, and right now on Yasuo, it's just working out. Those Sheen procs just doing work from that Trinity Force build. But 13 to 20 minutes into this game, 38.7k to 30.8k, pretty darn big difference. And Yasuo now just going completely ham. The Shockwave is not up for the Orianna, and looks like the Thresh having to flash away from that one. But the ultimate coming down even through the hook. Yasuo might be in a little bit of trouble now with the Vayne coming into this fight, but nope, not looking like there's going to be any issue. The Scrying Orb coming out to lock down this Yasuo. Why am I trying to say Gangplank here? Project Yasuo is throwing me off, apparently. But it looks like CaptainMonk is now here to try to offer some support. Anklespankin going to try to toss out his Rupture, but it's not going to land on anything. Flash is going to have to come out from him. He's a little bit weak to come into this, but with his Feast, though, not quite up, but they're going to have enough damage anyways. FeedtheShark also getting an ultimate off to get a kill onto the Gangplank and an assist onto the Thresh, and that was overall an ace. Orianna now finally coming back up to try to defend this thing, but it was an ace for nothing. Just a, well, actually, yeah, no, it was an ace for nothing. So amazing plays coming out of these guys just to absolutely shut down the enemy team. Not really a whole lot that they could do there. They're gonna try to tank up this turret, but Shockwave coming in from the Orianna, not really gonna be enough to do anything, but oh, Garen almost dying, but not quite dead. And you know, almost dead is not dead, right? Every kill that you're short of damage means that it's not a kill. So it looks like Jinx is going to have to get the hell out of here. Vayne is going to be able to close in pretty damn quickly, especially with the Orianna. But it looks like a great placement of those Flame Choppers going to stop the onslaught of Vayne and Thresh. The hook not going to land, and that is going to be one free Jinx to run amongst the children and frolic in the fields as you would. It looks like Anklespankin's going down, taking down this dragon all by his lonesome. Getting fairly low, though. But you know what? Why am I concerned? He's Cho'Gath. He's got Smite, and he's also got his Feast. But it looks like a lot of damage going down onto Unicat, but it doesn't matter. They picked up the Vayne anyways, and Yuna didn't even use the ultimate yet. So it's just showing how much damage this Yasuo has that didn't even have to use the ultimate, and still manages to pick up the Vayne. Yeah, it doesn't look like much of anything is really going well for this red team. They're now behind 2 dragons. Baron is still a possibility. I think the only way that the blue team could come back in this is if they manage to get a sneaky Baron and then try to take an inhibitor or something like that with a push. But the thing is, CaptainMonk is now so focused on warding up this Baron that you can see, like, the Scuttlecrads have taken the ward placement all around the Baron, even some deep wards in their jungle. It's going to be very difficult for the blue team to sneak a Baron in there to give themselves the remote possibility of coming back into this game. But running down the farm numbers, Gangplank doing incredibly well up in this top lane, 171 to 136 of the Garen. Anklespankin's managed to bring his way back up. As a Cho'Gath, you do in fact have great wave clear, and you also have great jungle clear when you get a little bit of ability power, and right now he's at 107 to 113 of the Diana, but he's sitting at 6-3 and 8 to Diana's 3-4 and 1. So money definitely in favor of Anklespankin on that one. When you look, the biggest discrepancies are in the mid lane and in the bot lane. 194 to 129 CS in favor of the Yasuo, and 168 CS in favor of the Jinx to Vayne's 97. It's really not looking good for that Vayne. But CaptainMonk taking a lot of damage from this team. A great little surprise attack from the blue team. But you still look at how far ahead the red team is, and do they really need CaptainMonk, really? But the thing is, they can't fight without CaptainMonk and also Anklespankin, which they would be doing if they tried to engage on this. But I'm never one to count Unicat out. Could probably very well solo everybody on this team right now. And maybe even 5v1. I would love to see that happen. If that happened, that would probably just make this video. But Anklespankin's Cho'Gath now making his way down the mid lane. Looks like he's going to probably like clear out wolves and things like that, because there's not really a whole lot to push here. But it looks like they're actually pointing their way over to Baron. The blue team is pinging that thing out, so they're not really going to be able to do anything about that. I'm not entirely sure where the red team is planning on going. It looks like they're just going to kind of help push out this top wave. They do have the second tier turret that they can't take out. It is the last of the tier 2 turrets, so they might just be going for that for free money. But once again, just kind of looking like a little bit of a stalemate here. Nobody really knowing kind of what to do. The blue team really just has to hold out. They're 10k gold behind, an insane amount of kills behind, 2 dragons behind. They really just need to kind of like play this one out and hope to God that first of all, Orianna can land a devastating shockwave, and that Vayne can get to a very, very late game status in which she can take down these tanks. But the Feast coming out of the Cho'Gath, Anklespankin sealing that blue buff. And it looks like this is going to be a very, very large fight. The Nautilus ultimate going in onto the Vayne, and it looks like Yasuo going to use his ultimate onto the Vayne to just make sure she can't clean up the team, but she does manage to escape, having great positioning here and taking the Thresh Lantern to get away from Nautilus's hook, but it looks like Garen picking up the Vayne anyways. Everybody trying to run away from this right now. There are still a couple healthy members on the blue team, but they're a little bit split up, and the hook landing onto the Gangplank is going to get the double kill for the Garen, and the triple kill coming out for the Garen as well, picking up that Orianna. Just great teamwork from this blue team, not losing anybody during that fight, even though some people got fairly low. It's just been an absolutely dominating teamfight performance. Unicat getting the legendary status 12-2 and 7 with 214 CS. I can't imagine the blue team is going to survive much longer than this as these guys push into the Nexus turrets. Jinx does still have the ultimate available, and Anklespankin's Feast is back up, so they can easily clean these guys up with a combination of spells here. I'm not sure if they're going to turn on this one, but there we go. The ultimate's coming out, and boom! There were two quick kills, and Anklespankin getting out with barely any life. Would you look at that guy? Just moseying on out of there with the swagger. And it looks like Yasuo jumping in onto the Gangplank, getting an easy kill onto the Gangplank as well. And now it looks like they're going for the Orianna. These guys are just cleaning up shop. Double kill for Unicat. Sorry, Unicat. I was going to call it Unikitty. But that is going to be a double kill. Diana cleaning up CaptainMonk's Nautilus. But it looks like this is going to be the end of the game anyways, as Garen and Jinx clean that one up. So guys, that was an amazing game. I definitely wish that I was a part of it, but I'm not salty about it whatsoever because I got to commentate an amazing game. And good God, I probably wouldn't have played nearly as well as half these guys, so I probably would have embarrassed myself in front of some pretty high-ranking YouTubers. So guys, if you did enjoy this video, show that like button a little bit of love. Let me know in the comment section below if you like these kinds of videos, if you want me to continue them. If you want to know when I release a video, what I'm doing, or if you want to interact with me, follow me at Twiggerlol on Twitter. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already for more content like this. See you guys in the next video.